Hello, this is a 9-foot concert grand that's 275 centimetres long, just come into stock, and I'm assessing it to see what sort of work needs doing on the piano. I've pitch raised it by about 2 or 3 beats, which enabled me to think about the piano as I went along, and certainly an excellent piano, but there is work to do on it. The casework is generally in very, very good condition. Not perfect condition, but there's no sort of obvious blemishes that are going to detract from buying the piano. There's certain small scratches and blemishes that it's difficult to show on the video really, but our polyester specialist will get to work on that and improve it considerably. The piano was made in 1978, which is an excellent period for Yamahas, as we mentioned before, for their uprights, really at the peak of their standard in terms of tonal quality. And this is ivory keyboard. You may be able to see it slightly yellowed. We can probably make it slightly lighter if you wanted us to, and we certainly buff the keys, but the ivory is in perfect condition, and they're one-piece ivory, so there's no join in the middle here as you get on older pianos. Condition of the inside of the piano is excellent. Looking at the tuning pins, I've tested them with I pitch raised them all so I can see that they're all tight enough and don't have any problem with that. So that's encouraging and stay in tune well for concerts. But generally looking down, the piano is in excellent condition, and the bass strings are all perfect. None of the strings have been broken or replaced, and the bass strings have a wonderful tone. So what attracted me to decide to get this piano into stock is the tone, underlying. It was just such a wonderfully singing tone that Yamaha's had of this period. But it has been played a lot, as we'll see by the action in a minute, and we do need to do quite a lot of action restoration. But tone-wise is perfect, and say the tuning pins are tight, so that's very encouraging. The hammers need, we'll see in a minute, they're letting down the tone, but I'm looking for the underlying sound, particularly. It's a very strong, rich, and very warm. A very good bass point. That's the kind of tests we make when we're buying pianos. The break point, which you can't tell much difference, and excellent as the wonderfully rich bass as you'd expect from a 9-foot long piano. Our soundboard's in perfect condition in terms of no cracks and certainly no damage. You can tell from the tone that it's good. There's a slight blemish here, I'm not sure what's caused that. I could probably make that good. Something dropped on the piano maybe, I don't know. But apart from that, the soundboard is absolutely perfect. And if you look at let's look at the bridge here. As you'd expect, the bridge is beautifully made and functioning perfectly, down-bearing good. Well, the action is really out of regulation. If we press this is middle C going down, and we're looking at where it sets off. I'll show you what I mean by that in a minute, but basically that should be ideally within 1/8 of an inch from the string, but it's over 1/4 of an inch from the string at the moment, so that is far too far. So it's certainly over a centimetre away from the string, and it should be probably a couple of millimetres ideally. This is the set-off button that regulates that. Not quite sure why it's so out of regulation, but we're going to see that the hammers are very worn as well. Now if we take a look at the hammers, we can see they have been refaced more than once, I should think, and there's hardly any felt left here, so we certainly can't make anything of those. They'll be very soft too. Their tone is soft, and the top of them, as you can see, there's a large area hitting the string. They've been refaced, but they're still too large an area, and that needs to be obviously rounded shape, and then it needs to be voiced afterwards. So new hammers is the order of the day. They will be putting new round hammers, shanks and rollers, I expect, as well, because there's a bit of a notch in the rollers if you watch that roller as you come off. It depends how tight these are and whether we need to replace those as well, but normally we do hammers, shanks and rollers. I'll technical department will have a think about that too. They do seem to be quite tight and they're quite fluid as well, so it'd be unusual if we don't change hammers, shanks and rollers, but this is a modern piano, very well made. There's other felts may need replacing as well. The back check may need replacing. We take the whole thing off here normally and put a new one on, so we'll have to look into that. The hammer blow distance, that's the distance between the hammer and the string, is about correct, about 47mm, so that's encouraging. Once the new hammers are installed, we'll also need to adjust this drop screw here, and also the back check will need adjusting. So general regulation, and let's have a look at the spring. The spring's functioning at the moment, but with the new hammers we'll have to regulate the spring, which is under here too. So a lot of action work to do. So that's a Yamaha Concert Grand 1978, a wonderful tone, but it does need new hammers. But it has a solid sound throughout, and here as well. Well, the hammers are letting it down. So it's mellow and not really clear tone because too much of the hammers hitting the string. But the tenor area and the bass are very fine. Really the best period of Yamahas, I believe, for tone. I'm hitting it quite hard to get the underlying sound, but delicate playing. It's difficult to get a good sound on. So we'll be replacing the hammers, and it'll be a very fine concert piano after that. Plenty of years left, and just as good as buying a new concert piano really, because it'll have new hammers on. It'll be very finely regulated, and we're really looking forward to the task. Thank you very much for listening.